It always catches up with the narcissist. Think about that for a minute. So you're learning about narcissism and you're continuing to get stronger. You keep coming back for more and more wisdom, for more light bulb moments, more nuggets of wisdom. And you're understanding that you're different than most people. You're also realizing that that person that you were connected with, that person that you were tethered to, they never had your best interest at heart. They never cared about you. They didn't love you. They don't love you. They don't love anybody. They can fake love and they can act like they cared, but when the chips were down, where were they when you needed them? They were nowhere to be found. And even in everyday experiences, everyday interactions, where were they when you needed them? They were nowhere. As I've shared for years, they may have been with you physically, but mentally they were checked out. Mentally, they had that clock going around in their brain, in their tiny little pea brain, and it was saying, only another 2 months, only another 3 months. I can't wait to get this new source of supply lined up. I'm grooming so many people. I'm fooling the person that's sitting right next to me. They have no idea I'm a narcissist. They have no idea I'm going to discard them. They have no idea I am hiding their money. They have no idea that I'm lying, I'm cheating, I'm stealing. They don't know who I am. Those are just a few examples of what the parasitical creature, yes, the narcissist, may be thinking at any given point in time. These are all new to you. They're foreign to you because you weren't taught narcissism in school. So how could you know that a person that proclaimed to actually love you or act like they cared about you could actually have disdain for you? Now, many people are asking, what's the word disdain? What does that mean? I haven't used that word. I've never even heard of that word. What it means is somebody has contempt for you. Again, you may say, what is contempt? In layman's terms, it means they flat out don't like you and they want to try their best to harm you or do damage to you. Now, those are just two adjectives of probably 20,000 I could come up with, but time is only what it is. So this 15/20 minute video is going to continue to describe, as the thumbnail mentions, it always catches up with the narcissist because that is a fact. It's one of the laws of the universe. Excuse me, it's one of the laws of this planet. Just like gravity, what goes up must come down. That's what happened with you in the narcissistic relationship. You were on cloud 9 when you were being love bombed, thinking that everything was going to be unicorns and snickerdoodles and Twinkies and s'mores, but as soon as the love bomb was over, and it probably ended before you knew it, now you entered stage 2 of the narcissistic abusive cycle, which is the devaluation stage. That's when you can do no right. That's when your cute little emojis are not being reciprocated. That's when the narcissist doesn't laugh at your jokes, they laugh at you. That's when the narcissist is not wearing the mask nearly as tight as they used to wear it. It's rather loosely fit on them. That's when they begin to show you how weak they really are and testing the temperature of you because you're now in the trauma bond, the devaluation stage, certainly the narcissistic fog, and they were mocking you, luring you, smirking at you, and misdirecting you. And they were toying with you. Picture a cat and a mouse. The cat chases the mouse and the cat toys with the mouse or paws the mouse back and forth, and then eventually the mouse gets burnt out, and that's what the narcissist does, the cat-mouse game. Now you're not a mouse and you're not supply. You are what I call, and the expression I coined years ago, you're a beautiful, bright, shining light. You do shine higher than the sun, the moon, and the stars and everything in between, just like I do. The narcissist targeted you, and they thought that they could steal everything out from underneath you. They would do that, crumble you up like a sheet of paper, throw you away in the freeway via discard, and you would never see the light of tomorrow's day. That is not what happened. What happened is the narcissist took their best shots at you, and again, they failed. And they did fail miserably, and they thought they had finished you off like they had finished off so many people before they met you. But again, as I opened this video with, you're cut from a different cloth. You're not your average human being. You are a superhuman being. You're stronger than you know. When I say superhuman being, I am referencing this. You have a high level of empathy. That's a fact. You didn't know what boundaries were. That's a fact. You wore your heart on a sleeve. That's a fact. You didn't know about narcissism. That's a fact. You were trapped in the cycle. Again, fact. You made it out. Again, fact. And you're healing or you've healed. That is a monumental Herculean effort for one human being, which is you, to put yourself back together against all odds, specifically, excuse me, when you didn't even realize that you were in a narcissistic relationship. You were in a place that very few people will ever know about firsthand. You are in a place that very few people will ever break free from. You were in a place that very few people will heal from. Now, again, My messages, my videos, and my channel for almost 6 years has been to create content that is uplifting, that is hard punching, that is impactful, that is the truth, that is authentic, and that sometimes you may not want to hear it, but you need to get the message, because this person you're considering, they did everything they possibly could to destroy your life. Whether you know it or not, that's what they did. And just when they thought they finished you off, they thought they had taken everything from you, and there's no way that you could repair yourself or put yourself back together. But that's where it all stops, and that's where your journey really, really begins. Your journey of fulfillment, your journey of purpose, your journey of ascension and of positivity and elevation and abundance. And that journey does not include toxicity. That journey does not include a narcissist. And that journey does not include dark energy. You see, you're on the healing path, and the healing path is not linear. It will take time. It will take a lot of time, but in your time you will heal when you utilize the tools that I provide for you with each and every video I create, and from all the amazing, insightful, intuitive, and inspirational comments from all over the world. Keep those comments coming, family. Keep those comments coming. Every single one of us, every one of our voices matter. If you write one comment on the channel and it's 2 words and it says thank you, you did your job. If you've been writing comments for years, thank you sincerely. I appreciate it. It is with your gratitude, it is with your experience, it is with your strength, your fortitude, and your commitment that other people have had the ability to heal and to hear your story or whatever you shared. You see, we are all connected, each and every one of us. And that is why I create videos every day to offer, provide, and give inspiration, insight, belief, and the recognition and acknowledgement of what you went through. The narcissist wants to divide and conquer. The narcissist wants to isolate people. The narcissist wants to feed off of people. And the narcissist wants to keep any supply sources for themselves. They don't want to share. They want to share nothing other than toxicity. You didn't know any of these things. That's why in the past, like I shared, you wore your heart on the sleeve. You were an open book. None of this was your fault. You most likely were blaming yourself. Maybe you were even blaming yourself up until the 7-minute and 12-second mark. Made you look. You looked. Good job. But you have to realize it's not your fault. It was a mental mind game of manipulation administered by the narcissist, because the narcissist wanted to live in your mind rent-free. They wanted to control you, whether they were sitting right next to you, whether they were an hour away or 10,000 miles away. They also wanted to use your cell phone as a remote control. I haven't used this in a while, but I'll share it. What is the remote control to you? Well, it's the way you get information. It's the way you get stay connected with people, etc., and get news, all these things. Well, also, the smartphone is what the narcissist used to control you. Remember the old remote control? Well, that's what they were doing with the smartphone. Why do you think you were checking it the minute you woke up? Why do you think you were being love bombed via the smartphone? Why do you think you were checking it when you went to bed? Because you were caught up in the trauma bond. You were caught up in the narcissistic fog of the devaluation stage, and you didn't realize that you got hooked on somebody. Yeah, I said it. You became hooked on somebody. Now again, I don't use these words lightly. They are true and they're accurate, and I'm beginning to share more and more information as the months go by and the months roll by, because I am more and more comfortable sharing certain informations that I've acquired over the years. But getting the narcissist wanted you hooked on them. When I say that, think about what a person does to get, when somebody has when someone gets hooked on something. Let's say it's shopping with Amazon. Well, maybe you had a little bout there with over-ordering packages from Amazon. Well, if you did that and you over-ordered and then you caught yourself, you realize, wait, I'm buying things I don't need. Well, then you shut it down, you stopped it, but you caught yourself. See, that's called self-restraint. That's called understanding who you are, and it's understanding what you can and can't do. Meaning, you know, you shouldn't be over-shopping at Amazon. These are just examples. It doesn't have to be Amazon. I'm just using that. But having said that, the narcissist wanted you hooked on them. They did it deliberately and intentionally. They did it willingly and knowingly, knowing that you didn't know who they were, knowing that they had an insurmountable advantage over you in the beginning, and knowing that when you were hooked on them, there's nothing you could do about it. If you don't play any part of this video over and over again, that's the one part you need to play. The narcissist wanted you hooked on them, and they did their damnedest to make sure you would stay hooked on them. Side note, pro tip, what do you think a Hoover is? Yeah, you're right. A Hoover is the 4th part of the narcissistic abusive cycle for some people. My hope is you didn't experience a Hoover, and if you do, you need to become unhooverable and not accept a Hoover. But a Hoover is when the narcissist is rearing their ugly head and trying to taunt someone, tempt them, or lure them back into the trap. You see, the narcissist knew that you were hooked on them. When I say hooked, I mean you were in the trauma bond, the devaluation stage of the narcissistic fog. You were thinking about them morning, noon, and night, which is why this is the relationship you need to heal from. You knew none of this in the past. I didn't know any of it till 6 years ago. Now I do know. Not only do I know, but I mastered it and how to break the cycle. And that's why I provide one-on-one sessions directly with me. And if you're interested in a one-on-one session, drop an email at narcdailyvideos@gmail.com. I'll say it again. Drop an email at narcdailyvideos@gmail.com. The link is in the description. Having said those things, I can provide insight from firsthand experience of being trapped in a cycle. I also help people create, develop, and execute exit plans. I'll share one thing with you. Nobody was talking about an exit plan 6 years ago, not one person. No one even knew what an exit plan was. You're looking at the person who created the exit plan, and you may say, well, wow, that's a little brash of you. It's not brash. It's true, and I did it, and it's documented. I understand what it takes to get free from the apex predator. I understand what it takes to kick the narcissist to the curb, and I understand what it takes to go no contact and block that person. Very few people understand it. People can talk about it, and they can say, oh, yeah, you must have had a difficult time, and ABC. Well, I know what it's like. I lived it. That's why I can put myself in your shoes in a second, and I can finish your sentence in a heartbeat. And if you've healed, you can finish my sentence. You haven't? If you haven't, there's work to be done. But any way you look at it, it always falls apart for the narcissist, because the narcissist continues to break relationships over and over and over again. And as soon as the narcissist gets what they want, they don't want it any longer, and they turn their attention elsewhere to the next new shiny object, thinking that the grass will be greener. Well, the grass isn't greener for the narcissist. It wasn't greener in the past. It won't be greener tomorrow, and it certainly won't be greener in the future. The reason why it won't be greener, it's not because of the beautiful green foliage around me. It's because more and more people are closing avenues of communication to the narcissist than ever before. I did it years ago. You most likely did it years ago, or you've done it recently, or you're about to do it. But as you do your part, just the same way I did my part, which is go no contact, you get stronger. As you get stronger, we all get stronger. I'm talking about the people who are targeted by the narcissist and the collective consciousness of the planet, excluding the narcissist. We all get stronger. As we get stronger, the narcissists, plural, they get weaker. As they get weaker, they have to cannibalize each other and look and search for other places to get supply. Again, what is supply? Supply is anything that matters to the narcissist, anything that distracts them from the truth, anything that pumps up their fragile ego, and anything that feeds them and makes them feel important. You were propping up an unproppable dark energy source. You were giving them all the accolades, all the praise, all the attention, all the glory. You were singing their songs and their anthems, and you thought they were the best thing since sliced bread in the beginning, and probably throughout that relationship until towards the end. Then eventually it all changed. Maybe you married the narcissist. Maybe you went from romance to roommate, which means you were sleeping together, intimacy, etc. And then eventually something was so broken, you moved to the West Wing, they moved to the East Wing, and you became buddies or friends, or not even friends. They probably were just zapping with a Z or a C, zapping your energy, stealing your money, making sure that you didn't live a healthy life, and you could cut the tension in the air with a butter knife. That's how these things happen. They don't happen in a split second. They happen over time. Flip it. I'll say one thing. The introduction, the beginning of these relationships usually happen at light speed. After that, things slow down. And then once the narcissist has their dirty fangs sunken into somebody, then they begin to extract, which means take away from, or steal, or take. Well, I'll say it that way. But all these things equal why it always falls apart for the narcissist, because they cannot introspect. They can't get that mirror, like a real mirror that you have, and you look at yourself in the mirror before you go to work, whatever you do. And you may laugh, yeah, I do too. I know my hair's a mess and all these things, but that's me. And that's how I live my life. And believe me, I do the best I can with what I have. But having said that, the narcissist doesn't look at the mirror and say, wow, I'm a nasty human being. I need to really improve and be a better person. They don't say that. They've never said that in their life. What they say are things like these. I am important. People love me. People worship me. I am the best. People need me. People worship me. I am superior. I am the greatest. Notice how I was monotone there? Yeah, kind of boring, right? Well, there's your narcissist right there. Notice how I used 1, 2, 3 syllable words. I don't even think I used a 4-syllable word in there. Well, that's the narcissist. Not because they can't pronunciate, but they can't pronunciate. All they can do is copy and steal and mimic. They cannot do anything original. There's zero originality to these people. So why I'm sharing all these things is this. The reason it always falls apart for the narcissist, it's because these people implode. They implode day in and day out. Most of the implosions, I'm referring to not explosion. You experience those. I'm talking about implosions. They are the exact opposite, but they have the same effect. The implosion of the narcissist is a magnificent experience for them. Magnificent in this context is not a good thing. Same thing with sensational. It's a sensational experience. It's not a good thing. It means it's surreal. It means I cannot fathom how that could happen. Well, there's your narcissistic injury. There's your narcissistic collapse. And this is what the narcissist never wanted you to see. That they are broken, that they are anxiety riddled, that they do fall apart at the seams, that they do know what they're doing, and that they do get damaged and injured way worse than you would ever imagine. I'll share this and I'll close the video. I don't wish ill will upon anybody. I never have, and I'm not going to start now. Having shared that, the narcissist will get what's coming to them, and it won't come at the hands of a human being, but your hands, by you going no contact, will have helped the demise of the narcissist. Again, I'm going to share this. I don't wish ill will upon anybody. When you go no contact and you block said person or people, you are putting up a boundary. When you say no to something or someone, you are saying yes to yourself. Play that and play that again. When you say no to the narcissist by implementing a boundary, mainly going no contact, you're letting the boundary do the work for you. You're letting your silence do the talking for you, and your silence speaks louder than words. Your words fell upon deaf ears when you were communicating with the narcissist. They never heard what you said. They heard what they wanted you to say. Play that part again. Now, for all of you people who still believe I'm running a script, you really need to get your heads checked. Yeah, I said it. I'm here in the Carolina woods. I've got Nelson and Noah chilling right next to me. I'll give you a couple seconds of them in a moment. And I am free-flowing like I always do. When you heal and heal properly, my hope is the energy and the abundance and the positivity from having reached the mountaintop, the pinnacle of indifference, will flow through you just like it flows through me. I can assure you one thing. When you do reach that pinnacle, that mountaintop of indifference, the energy will flow through you just like it flows through me. In which capacity, I can't tell you, but I can tell you one thing. When you heal, you go no contact, you block that person, etc., and you really do the deep dive in yourself, you will be in the third version of you. And the third version of you is the strongest, most galvanized version of you known to humankind. That's where I am, and that's where you are working towards getting if you haven't arrived yet. I'll give you a cameo of Nelson and Nolan in a second, and if I can, I'll create another video, posting it today or tomorrow, I'm not sure, but anyway, you look at it, it always falls apart for the narcissist. You see this? Listen to what I'm going to share with you right now. You just heard 3, maybe 4 things. 1, you heard Nelson's ears because he was shaking his ears. 2, you heard a bird up there on cue. 3, you may have heard a little pitter patter in the background. It's because I'm watering the plants over there. And there's the bird. See, this is abundance. This is not AI. There's no script. This is a real human being who has healed and made it out of hell in one piece. And now I have the privilege, the luxury, the opportunity, and the fortitude and strength and the words and the lexicon to pay it forward and help you out. Truth be told, I've been doing this for almost 6 years, and I will do it for another 56 years. As long as you are continuing to come back, get your cup full, maintain your boundaries, and understand that you are stronger than you know, and that the narcissist has no business being in your life now or in the future. That is the path. You need to understand that. That's why you need to get on the tidal wave of abundance, the tsunami wave of authenticity, and kick the narcissist to the curb once and for all. So that's the video. I hope you liked it. I love doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are. You're not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. I may have done that a minute ago, but I got sidetracked. I'm going to give you a cameo here with Nelson and Nola. Hey, Nelson. Hey, Nola. Nelson. Nola. Hi. Hi. Oh, you're so good. Thanks for saying hi. Oh, you guys are so beautiful. Okay, said hi. And there we have more abundance. I hope you're having a great day. I love you all. I'll talk to you tomorrow or maybe later today. big virtual hug, virtual heart, and continue on the path moving forward each and every day. I love you all. Bye, everybody. Bye.